Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Smackdown on Fox review on Friday, April 10th, 2020. And as expected, this show is not that much special for me tonight. Nothing much happened on this show at all, besides what happened in the end with Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, building into a match at Money in the Bank, I guess, with those two. And we'll talk about that at the end of this review. But, I mean, instead of that, nothing much happened on this show. Nothing that I cared about, actually. But, we'll go over everything. And I'd figure I'm probably going to breeze by this SmackDown review. So when I'm done talking about SmackDown, we got big breaking news, fantastic news today, that the Revival have been released from WWE and are officially free agents. We'll talk about that at the end of this review and what I see in the future for the Revival, which many people see in the future for the Revival. But before we talk about that and we talk about SmackDown, make sure you guys go check out my WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 reviews with Eddie Mullen, the Monday Night Raw review, the Dark Side of the Ring WWF Brawl for All review, the AEW Dynamite review this past Wednesday, and the NXT review. I basically just talked about Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa the whole time. So make sure you guys go check all that out. And without further ado, let's talk about SmackDown. So, we opened up SmackDown tonight with the new Universal Champion, Braun Strowman. He's not my champion. Okay, but we opened up, he said, I'm the new Universal Champion. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I beat Goldberg. When an opportunity comes, you take it, and I did more than take it. I crushed it, and I'm the new Universal Champion. An opportunity got handed to you, Braun. It was nothing you had to work for, you dumb idiot. But, it was whatever. He cut a promo. And then Shinsuke Nakamura came out and he said, working for it, and he said, knock, knock. And you're supposed to say who's there. And Nakamura's there for an opportunity. He says, I want you. So this segment was basically to set up a match in the main event tonight between Braun Strowman and Shinsuke Nakamura. Whatever. It's whatever. Non-title match, whatever. I thought it was for the title at the beginning. Or they could have set this up for the pay-per-view at Money in the Bank, but they weren't going to do that. So then we go from that to the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in a WrestleMania rematch for the women's tag team titles. Just like Saturday, I decided that I was going to take a dump during this match, because I did not care whatsoever. I don't care about the women's tag team titles. I will never care about the women's tag team titles. Those titles are irrelevant, and every time they're on television, I'm going to mention this every single time. These titles should be burnt to the ground and be done with. Literally nobody gives a shit about the women's tag team titles. And this did nothing. This did nothing for me. In fact, my cookies and my Coke that I had during SmackDown tonight was more important than this women's tag team title match. That's how much I cared about this match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won and retained the tag team titles. Oh joy. Oh joy. We then got a segment with Elias, and he was basically singing. He was singing off a porch that he got thrown off of by Baron Corbin. And then he sang that he beat Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. And then he was singing how he will be in Money in the Bank. That he wants to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match this year. You know, SmackDown has no one else, so who are they really gonna put on the Money in the Bank ladder match? I guess you might as well put him in there. It's not like he's gonna win anyway, so. Actually, I just mentioned Money in the Bank, so let's talk about it now. They mentioned Money in the Bank. It's Money in the Bank season. Baltimore Royal Farms Arena sent out a tweet yesterday saying that the Money in the Bank pay-per-view would be canceled. Now, it's not going to be canceled. It's just not going to be held at the Royal Farms Arena. So what I'm probably guessing is we're getting another pay-per-view at the Performance Center. It's probably going to be like this for a long time, which absolutely sucks. It sucks. But I'm most likely getting Money in the Bank at the Performance Center. Elias singing that he wants to be in the ladder match. And then WWE goes on later in the night and announces qualifying matches for the ladder match. We got Daniel Bryan and Cesaro for the men's, and we got Naomi and Dana Brooke for the women's. Now, last year, the past 2 years, WWE did not do qualifying matches for the ladder match, which is very lazy. Very lazy. And I gotta give them credit. Them doing qualifying matches, it makes me happy. And it actually makes me care about the qualifying matches, because the Money in the Bank ladder match is one of the matches I look forward to most of the entire year, if it's not ruined by having guys like freaking Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar and Baron Corbin win it the past 3 years. Hopefully we have a good Money in the Bank winner this year. But I just figured Elias sprung up Money in the Bank, so I bring up the Money in the Bank qualifying matches that they announced for next week. Should be good, hopefully. Dolph Ziggler versus Tucker. We got the same thing on Smackdown last week. And then in the DQ last week. This week, Dolph Ziggler beat Tucker. Who cares? The match was fine for what it was. Dolph Ziggler won off a super kick, and that's it. We got the Dirt Sheet with The Miz and John Morrison. And they were breaking down the match at WrestleMania. It seems like The Miz is okay, and he's not in quarantine, and he's not sick anymore. So, glad that The Miz is feeling better. They look to be 6 feet apart, though, so. They brought up how John Morrison is the first man in WWE history to retain a SmackDown Tag Team title in a triple threat match, and The Miz is the first person to retain the SmackDown Tag Team title from his couch. And then, this made my ears bleed. They were going to do a sing-along to their new rap song with The Miz and Morrison, Hey Hey Ho Ho, you know? But they did that, and of course they got interrupted by the Usos. What else was going to happen? He said that The Miz wasn't in the match. It was supposed to be 2-on-2-on-2, and The Miz pulled out. And they didn't defend the tag team titles. And then the New Day came out and said, after speaking to management and Fox officials, like Fox officials is going to care about the friggin' SmackDown tag team title picture. Give me a break. It's not like management cares about it anyway. But Big E came out and he said, according to Fox officials and backstage management, next week on SmackDown, we will see a triple threat match for the SmackDown tag team titles between Jey Uso, Big E, and The Miz for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. Awesome! So we had the same thing as we did at WrestleMania, except the other half of the team is in the triple threat match for the tag team titles. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of the New Day and the Usos getting shots at the tag team titles. It's ridiculous at this point. It really is. And it's obviously predictable that The Miz is going to win. Because if John Morrison won, why wouldn't The Miz? If The Miz doesn't win, it'd be stupid. There's no point in the New Day or the Usos winning the tag team titles now. I don't know. I don't really care. That's just my opinion. You know, it's whatever. It's the only teams that WWE cares about, the New Day and the Usos. It's never gonna change with them, and it's never gonna get old for them, but it's getting old for us. Lucha House Party versus the debuting Forgotten Sons. I did not pay attention to this match. I did not care about this match. That shows how much care I have for the newly debuted Forgotten Sons. The Forgotten Sons won this match, but yes, they will be dead on the main roster. Give them 3 weeks. Give WWE 3 weeks, and they'll be dead. I don't know why they're on SmackDown either, when Monday Night Raw is the division that needs tag teams, not SmackDown. I don't know. Oh, this show sucks. SmackDown sucked tonight. You could tell the expressions that I just want to get this done. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they were backstage celebrating their match against the Kabuki Warriors, and they approached Carmella and Dana Brooke, and he said that, congratulations, we weren't able to be a part. Oh! Yawning during SmackDown. That's exactly what I was doing. But they were approached by Carmella and Dana Brooke and said we were left off SmackDown and we want a shot at the tag team titles. So then they talk it over and they say challenge accepted. So we're getting Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Carmella and Dana Brooke, just randomly thrown in together and getting a shot at the women's tag team titles. That's why we need to burn the titles. Burn the freaking women's tag team titles. Please. Please. Sheamus versus a local jobber named Cal Boom. I think his name was. Cal Loom, or whatever. Sheamus beat him in a minute 30 seconds, bro kick. And then Sheamus brung up Money in the Bank during his entrance, so I'm pretty sure Sheamus is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match also, which I don't mind. I don't mind Sheamus being Money in the Bank. It doesn't bother me. Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, your main event of SmackDown. This one went about 13 minutes. Nothing special about this one. This one went about... I'm wrong. This match went about 8 minutes. 3 matches of like 2 minutes before we go into a commercial. We get back 4 minutes later. I look up on the television off my phone. Braun Strowman hits a power slam on Nakamura, and Braun Strowman defeats Nakamura. Whatever. We then get a Firefly Funhouse vignette, and Bray is talking about putting away John Cena in his match, and he's talking about it's time to move on from one thing to another. and he brings up the history he had with Braun Strowman and the Wyatt family, and how he brought Braun Strowman into this environment, and then Braun betrayed his family to go on his own. And then he's asking the puppets if he should forgive Braun Strowman, and all the puppets said no, except for Rambling Rabbit. But then Bray forgave Braun Strowman, and Braun was like, "I'm tired of your games, Bray," or whatever like that. "I know what you're doing." And he said, "It gotta." Oh God, I don't even remember. After I'm done with one thing, I'm coming for another thing, and I want the thing on your shoulder. And then he says bye, and then Braun says, "Wait, just a second. You can. You're welcome to have a title shot whenever you want, and I will let you in." Yeah, and then I will let you in. And then he says bye to Bray Wyatt, with Bray with a serious face looking at Braun Strowman. And that was Smackdown. This was a waste of a show. This show sucked. I'm sorry. But talking about Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, this match is more than likely happening at Money in the Bank. Braun Strowman is 100% dropping the championship. Braun Strowman was not even supposed to be the Universal Champion. Braun Strowman, and as a matter of fact, folks, Braun Strowman was a Plan D. Braun Strowman was a Plan D for WrestleMania, which we will talk about this Sunday on the News and Rumors video. But Braun Strowman is a Plan D. Braun Strowman, I knew since when he won the championship from Goldberg, Braun Strowman's a transitional champion. He's not going to be the champion for a long time. He's not going to be the champion going into SummerSlam like other people said and drop it to Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman is going to have his first defense against Bray Wyatt at Money in the Bank, and he's going to drop the title. And that's exactly what's going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are 1 month away from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and we already know what's going to happen. Bray Wyatt is going to recapture the Universal Championship that he should have never lost to begin with. Shows you, after all of this nonsense, with Goldberg squashing Bray in 3 minutes, and Roman Reigns dropping out of the match, and Braun Strowman being the Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt should have never lost the Universal Championship. I don't get it. I don't get it with these people. I don't get it. But that's the way things are going to be trending. And that was SmackDown. Now, before I get out of here, I want to talk about the releasing of The Revival. The Revival were released this morning from the WWE and are a free agent. They are free agents in the wrestling world. And I could not be any happier for Dash and Dawson. This is a long time coming. This is almost a year in the making that Dash and Dawson got their releases from the WWE. Hate that place so much. And we got these whining babies on social media upset that the Revival are leaving the WWE. Like, let me read you this one. I'm not going to bring up names on here, but WCW 2.0 gonna scoop them up. Good riddance, you whiny Fs. Now go show everyone how great you really are. And then he posts a picture that the Revival were the first ever Raw Tag Team Champions, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and NXT Tag Team Champions. Whatever, you know? Guy's a total WWE apologist. It's quite obvious right there, but, you know, imagine reacting like that to the Revival being released. Imagine not being happy for the Revival because they're getting out of a place that they truly hated, and they wanted to value their careers and make a name out of themselves and show you that tag team wrestling is an actual draw in professional wrestling, which it really is. Now, there's no question these guys are going to AEW. And they don't have a 90-day compete clause. So, even though AEW has taped shows all the way up until the middle of May, I think, the Revival can show up on AEW whenever they want. At the next tapings or whatever. They could show up whenever they want. They could show up like Brody Lee, and they could show up like Matt Hardy, and it's going to be awesome. Now, I might save their pop for when an audience comes back, but at this point, we don't even know when the audience is going to come back to wrestling shows, you know? Sucks, but I couldn't be any happier for Dash and Dawson, and they actually got their new names, and that's their Twitter name on Twitter. So Dash Wilder will now be featured as Cash Wheeler, and Scott Dawson will now be featured as Dax Harwood. Awesome. I can't wait to see the Revival in AEW. You know that is where they're going 100%. We're going to get matches like the Revival versus the Lucha Brothers and the Best Friends and the Jurassic Express and Private Party and Omega and Hangman Page possibly, and, you know, the Dark Order maybe, and more importantly, the one that everybody is talking about, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks versus the Revival. Who's the best tag team in the world? And when the Revival show up in AEW and they're on their run and they end up facing the Young Bucks for the tag team titles, they will show you why they are one of the best tag teams in the world, without a doubt. And that's my thoughts on the Revival leaving WWE and being free agents. Couldn't be any happier for them. But I am getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Comment down below what you thought of this week's WrestleMania. What you thought of Smackdown tonight. Again, I thought it was trash. That's my opinion. Like this video with a super kick. You can follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. You can follow me on Instagram at Colin_Joseph. Follow Eddie on Twitter at EddieMon515, and I will be back right here on Easter Sunday. Yeah, I know, it doesn't feel like Easter, but it is. I'll be back on Easter Sunday for your news and rumors right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Guys, have a great night and stay safe.